Hello YouTube, Melina here, and I am back with another speed build. This speed build took me 1,000,001 hours. Um, yeah, I've come back in time to share this video with you in a time appropriate manner. I think actually I am a week late in sharing a video. I think last week I shared 3 videos, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I was supposed to share this on Wednesday. I think I've been trying to go for a Monday Wednesday combo, or at least work Monday through Wednesday so that the videos are ready by Wednesday, but that didn't work out this week because I was still working on this project. So if you actually stay here for as long as the video runs, then I thank you. But if you skip to the end just to see the screenshots, I don't blame you. I wish I could skip to the screenshots of this build because oh boy. So this is a museum. It's another community lot that I built. I built this with the intention of giving my sim for my Legacy and Realm of Magic Let's Play a place to work. The older brother is a curator, so I thought what a better place for him to like have his items and actually give him something to do with himself, because I'm pretty sure as a young man he was not going to be very responsible with his family's fortune, as some people might hope. So I thought I would go ahead and actually give him a job, give him something to do while he still deals with his struggles. And so I decided to build a museum that I'm also going to run as a retail shop, because there is a shop at the very top of the build. So the first floor is just like basically a few things for your Sims to look at. It looks very much like a museum with like items behind like glass cases and things. And then on the second floor, there's sort of a little like coffee spot. You can self-serve yourself some coffee. And then there are some seats around. And then at the top floor, there is a small shop where you can buy items not 100% acquainted, or not 100% like whatever you're gonna see in the museum. These are just random items. A few objects I imagine were like fake replicas and like really cheap replicas so that you can buy stuff like crystals. They have books upstairs. I was wondering or pretending that they're like just informative books about things that you might have seen at the museum. So this is where my mind was when I was putting the things together. So I will definitely be running this museum as a retail shop. And then there's still things downstairs. So you can see I have play tested the museum. People will go there. They'll look at the shelves and the glass shelves, and they'll observe, whatever you have in the museum. The only thing is that when you use it that way, no one's gonna go upstairs because you can't like cause it to serve a double purpose. So I did include a cash register in hopes that I would be able to just say hire someone and then see if I could kind of trick the game. I keep doing that, and I find out that you can't really trick the game. I don't know why I keep trying to do that, but yeah. So it's like it has a double purpose, whether you want to run it as a shop or if you just want to have it as a museum in your game. It has double use. The only thing that I want to say is that I was trying to add like a cafe upstairs. I couldn't find what I needed, so that's why you have to serve your own coffee for yourself, and it's just like a little seated area. I also wanted to add a lunchroom, but I didn't give myself enough space on the second floor because I really wanted to do like this outside sitting area, which is very, very small. But hey, it's there, more seats. Another thing I would like to point out is that I was building this backwards. So I thought that where the building is facing is the front, and then it turns out that actually this is the back. So there you go. Another thing that I want to say is that I did add a office space. That's that little extension you see at the very back that's sticking out all the way. That's a little office space. I imagine that my sim, is going to be working there, and that's where he will like either review some things that he's collected, or like before he adds them to the museum, that's just kind of where he hangs out, catalogs everything before he puts it out. I would have really liked to fully fill up the museum on my own with things that he found, but for the sake of sharing the build, I went ahead and I used the buy debug, and I just was gave myself permission to go ahead and add all those things in there so that other people could be able to use the build as well. Um, Another thing I would like to point out is that, or that I would just like to mention, is that I approached this build very different than normal. Um, I see a lot of people putting together their builds from the front, like they'll do the facade of the build, and then they'll go to the sides and just add like all these little details and things. Um, and so I was like, you know what? I know what I want the front to look like, and I'm not going to be able to put it together by making all these bigger boxes in the back. So I went ahead and I kind of restarted everything, and I deleted this build a couple of times because I knew what I wanted it to be. I just didn't know how I wanted it to look. But I've been like really obsessed with this kind of style. I hope I did a good enough job portraying the style that I was trying to go for. I know I see Freezer Bunny do a lot of these buildings that look like this. I don't think that I, by any means, achieved his level of success in doing it. But I was just like, you know what? I know generally what it looks like. I didn't find any pictures of what I was looking for as quickly as I had hoped. So I just went ahead and just did my own thing, just kind of from what I knew of what I wanted. And then I just put the builds together from there. And again, this is another very green build, which I was laughing about because my roof is green, which I really wanted. I thought that would really pull together the look that I was going for. Um, there's a lot of interior things that are green. For example, the walls are green. And then the sim who owns this, actually, they have green hair. So, yeah. I was just like, this is a super green build. I don't think I'm going to call it that. I did name it after the family that owns it, and it's called the Legacy Museum. But again, if you want to retail it, then you can go ahead and just do as you please. If you want to turn it into a house, be my guest. Go for it, explore. um, yep. So I did a lot of editing on the inside and the outside. I almost completely forgot about getting another staircase upstairs. So here I am just adding another staircase, and I'm like, it's taking up this weird space over here. I don't know. And then I just kind of played with the staircases a little bit before I figured out that I could just go ahead and like tuck it in this corner here, because it was just such an odd space. And it's like I couldn't really pull it away from there, and then otherwise it would be like a weird little spacing between the staircase and the railing right here. So I was like, you know what, that's fine. I have to sacrifice somewhere, and I couldn't, or I didn't want to make the upper level any smaller than it already was. It's a decent sized shop upstairs. I did wonder if perhaps I should not have sacrificed this like little space where you could look downstairs. I was just like, maybe I shouldn't have done that, but it was there and I really didn't want to take it away. I really did like the way it looked, but perhaps next time I'll just give myself a little bit more space. The build is very narrow, and that's because I knew that I was gonna, wasn't gonna be a lot of items in here. There was just gonna be a few shelves here and there, and then the things, stuffed in the shelves. That's really the purpose of you coming in here. So there was a lot of fiddling both inside and out. I had to cut out a lot of things. I was so surprised at the number of times I brought myself back to the outside of the building to see what I could move around, to see what I can adjust, how can I make this better. And I really gave myself a lot of time to do this build, which is why it took me 1,000,001 hours to put it together. And you know what? It most certainly felt like 1,000,001 hours. So I do want to mention that for the bathrooms, they are unisex bathrooms. And the reason why I did that is because usually when I make bathrooms, I do like to make boy-girl bathrooms. Um, but I don't, and also I do like do a color in the bathroom so you can tell which one is which, like where your sim is gonna go. I don't try to use the colors offensively. Like, I'm just like, when you look at a color, you know what your brain says to you because of, the way that we were raised or whatever. So I just use the pink and the blue to just kind of say, hey, go here, go there. Or I'll use like a yellow and like maybe like a teal or something, or like a lavender or something like that. And then I'll just be like, here, go there. And it's just for the sake of you finding the bathroom and me being able to use those doors, because I think that being able to use those doors is pretty cool that they, bothered to include that. But this time I just made the bathrooms unisex. They're exactly the same bathroom, and I was able to kind of tuck them in the back there, which I think kind of gives me a little bit of unevenness when you look at the space outside the bathroom. I didn't count for the separation and the wall, so the staircases are a little bit off. I think they're a little bit shifted to the right or the left. I suppose it depends on how you're looking at the build. But yeah, so they're a little bit shifted. But you know what? You go upstairs and it's still pretty good. Like, you have good space to move around. Nothing is too messy. I've been dying to use these shelves. I don't remember when, but I had a curator character that he's in the gallery, and it says he likes to collect rare items. I think his last name is Diggs. And it's like there's a sim that I also created. I didn't create her actually. She's my only beautiful townie that generates in the gallery randomly. She's the most beautiful sim, and I was kind of like saying that he's trying to like collect her as a rare item. And he's not a bad guy. He's just, maybe he is a bad guy. I don't know. But she was one of the things that he wanted to collect. So I really wanted to kind of make this curator thing like in his home, but again, I made the house too narrow, so it went the wrong way, and then it turned out really weird, so I didn't keep it. The house is up in the gallery. I think I might have just recently deleted it though, because you can't really see it. It's like so narrow that the entrance of the house is along the side, and then so the side of the house that's facing the front has no windows for like privacy purposes. And so, you can't really see what's going on in the house. It ended up being a very narrow build, which I still thought the interior was great. I just didn't like the outside of it. So, it's like I either get the exterior, which looks amazing, and then the interior, I'm always like, eh. But I'm working on making sure that they both inside and out look amazing. I'm just realizing I should have probably put some columns against, are they called columns? Against that little wall there. I did use the windows and doors from, what was it? Strangerville. They have such nice items, and I love the doors, and it's just right up my alley. I was actually just talking to my cousin about, like, I always have her furnish my builds, but I have like this very traditional Victorian old fashioned style of things that I really like. Like, I love Renaissance, I love medieval. Like, I don't love the times. I would never want to live in those times, but I think like the fashion and the furniture is like gorgeous. Not like farm life furniture either, like, wealthy people stuff. Because I don't think I would have been able to survive back in those times. I probably would have been dead somewhere. So, thank God that I was not born in those times. I'm sure they're not as glamorous as I see in the in the movies. In fact, I know I hate the cold, and yep, I'm pretty sure it was pretty cold back then. So yeah, I'm very happy to be in modern times where we have central heating and air conditioning. But yeah, so my cousin was furnishing one of my builds, which is a Tudor home, and this house is huge. It's one of the ones that I'm holding on to that I'm planning on sharing eventually. But I had her furnish it for me, and she's like, "I'm sorry, this is not what you were probably expecting." And I'm like, "I know, I already know you're gonna do like a modern interior, and that's fine. That's what you do. I do this more old-fashioned traditional style of things, but you do you." And she did a really great job with the house. I love the way she furnished. I wish I had more of a like a modern touch to things, but I think I do well with this kind of more traditional style. So, I mean, hopefully, I liked my last build. I thought it came out nice and modern and looked good. So, maybe it's just more practice, and actually exposing myself to these certain things. But if I had a house personally, I think I would like something like old Victorian with like the bay window and the tower and the pointy roof and it's just I love it. I love it. And then I'll just like buy myself or make myself a old like a big flowy dress with like a lot of layers and then just like make a thin one for like bedtime. Oh man, I'm just being silly. So I'm over here just kind of I finally decided to use or make use of the cabinets. So I just kind of make them seem like there's a little section there. The corner where I just put the lights, I'm actually gonna move that towards the front, and then I'm gonna put more shelves, glass shelves in the back because there was a particular shelf that I was looking for that I couldn't find it until I was finally doing the upper level, which is the shop, and then I was like, oh, this is the other one I was looking for. I think they were just in different sections. Like I thought everything was here under surfaces, but I didn't find it. So I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But when I did come across it, I was like, great. I brought them and I put them down at the bottom, which again was me doing more editing in the build. But I really wanted this to come out looking a certain way. So I just was like, you know what? It's fine. Just do it. Like it's not a big deal. I don't know why I get so anxious, but I do. So I'm really, really working on that and just trying to make something that I like and that others might like as well. So here I am struggling to look for the cafe bar, which my cousin told me that she found it. It's under the bar section, but as you can see right here, I couldn't find it. Um, I don't know if that was a get to work item or maybe it was get together. Ugh, I don't really remember. So here I am trying to figure out what to do with this corner. I really wanted to put the coffee on this level. I did want to have a barista, but as you could see, the bar was kind of huge, even though that wasn't like the bar I was looking for. That was like the university cafeteria thing, which I then wondered if I should have put it at the top level and then maybe, or make a basement cafeteria. But I really didn't want to figure out more staircases, if I'm not gonna lie, and I didn't, because I didn't think it was gonna work, and I didn't feel like I should bother wasting my time with something that really wasn't gonna work out because of the spacing and because of the layout that I had already put into place. So I just, I kind of went over it in my head and I kept thinking about how I could get it in there, where I could make a space or add a staircase. I even thought about getting rid of the balcony out the back and adding the cafeteria there, making it a bigger space. But then I thought that would really compromise the way that everything kind of flowed. So I just decided against it. I didn't do that. And I just left the like seats outside for when the weather is good. We also have an exit out this way in case your sim wants to do something else or you want to send them somewhere else, because in this area specifically in Windenburg there are a lot of like areas in the world that you can just walk over to and like do activities. They have like a chess um a park where you could play chess. They have so many um like easels around that you can play with. So yeah, I was like, I want people to be able to get out from the front and the back of the build without having there to wait for their sim to walk all the way around and like find their way. So yeah, it has a back exit. That exit is from like the top to bottom. Again, because the office is downstairs, I did consider bringing the office upstairs. But yeah, so since I didn't want to compromise like my sim having to go all the way upstairs just to work, I just thought it was gonna be okay to um, go ahead and just give myself a little break and leave the office on the first floor. So now we are moving up. By the way, the office is the last thing we put together. I didn't even go in there. Um, and you know what? I should have compromised the design a little bit. Maybe put the shop downstairs because I really wanted this place to be like a club hangout spot for my Sims group. And we just ended up with not enough space. But I had already decided that I wanted up here to be the shop. I could see where everything was gonna fit. So I was just being extra stubborn and I didn't want to move anything. You could also still add a cafeteria up here. You could, there's so much you could do upstairs and even just make the shop smaller. I really wanted to kind of combine the shop with the cafeteria, not the cafeteria, with the, what is it I was looking for? With the cafe bar, but because I couldn't find it, like, so you could have coffee being served in case you did decide that this could be like a shop. Um, yeah, but I couldn't find that stupid bar table, so I gave up and I surrendered. I actually convinced myself that they potentially removed it from the game and I just I couldn't find it. But yeah. Oh, there goes the shelves that I was looking for. Where are they? Oh, they were in the miscellaneous items. Okay, but they were still on surfaces. I thought they were gonna be like on normal shelves because I'm pretty sure that's where I found the other ones. And there's this nice like table that for some reason it's not visible in like regular and it's not listed with like the regular tables. It is this one up here in the corner all the way to the right that kind of sticks out, like it looks very Victorian and very old, and maybe I'm identifying it the wrong way, but it's in one of those old fashioned houses with the tall walls. So beautiful. So because I already knew where I wanted everything, I was just kind of trying to make sure that I placed everything in the right spot. I'm just like right here, really taking my time out to look for certain things, and then I got a little bit distracted because I opened up Edit Live Objects mode as well as Show Hidden Objects, so we can just see I'm just kind of like ooh, and I was looking for some books which I ended up finding towards the end. I don't know if you're gonna see me like find them and put them in. I think I may have placed them after I closed or after I stopped recording because I was like, I'm done, I'm ready to go to bed. But then I was like, I need to really figure out what to do with the front. On the outside, I actually ended up putting like some fence around the place, but I was like, no, no, this isn't working. Like, this is already raised up off the ground. There's already a fence on the other side. I didn't want to close off the space. I was already being closed off with those trees that I put on the outside along the sides of the walls just to kind of cover up the windows and just help separate the builds. Um, but yeah, it was like, whoa, it was a lot. So here I am just going through the menu trying to see what I want to put in here. Each of the shelves just has something really different. I did consider putting in I did consider putting in the frogs and the bugs, but I was like, they're kind of alive and that seems a little cruel. So I decided we were not going to put live animals in there even though my sim would be collecting them. So I finally found these like stone things. Some of them feel a little bit overcrowded, but then I kind of remove it because I was thinking about the many times that I've gone to like museums and there's like they have like a few items here and there for certain things. So I just, again, there I go trying to put the frog. Those items actually do get changed out because by the time I reach the bottom of this very long list of stuff, I found these like round, these discs. They kind of look like gold plates. So I end up replacing them and putting them in there. And then I put like only one in each because, again, I was thinking about when I would go to the museum and they would only have like one item in like this huge glass shelf, and I'd be like, whoa. So those stones I put up there, I try to pick some funky colors just to kind of be like, mayhaps this is like a replica. And then those are like wand holders, but I couldn't really find the wand to put in them. I really wish we could put like maybe like a map or something in there. I don't know if there's something I could find to put in. Not quite sure. Oh, there goes the disc. I found them. And then I kind of changed my mind about where I wanted them, and here we are making a quick switch. Because I was like, yes, this is what I wanted to project. Oh, I have grass. My dog is so hairy. She always brings stray pieces of grass inside when she comes in from the yard. She hates for me to peel it off of her, but she always has grass attached to her body. And it's just because she has a hairy little face. The rest of her body's actually shaved, so we're gonna try to keep her hair short, even though it looks so cute when it's long. But we can't afford to do that because it gets really nappy really quickly, and she does not like getting a haircut. So I want to try to make sure that we don't have to give her like super aggressive haircuts like I had to do last time. I feel so bad, but she still needs a little bit more of a trimming. So here goes just some like random items that I was just like, yeah, you could probably buy this at like a museum. Unfortunately, we didn't have like a poster rack because I know when I used to go to the Met a lot in New York, they would always have like art books for you to like buy, and like posters for you to like buy of like paintings that they would have on display. I myself never bought anything, but I've always used to go in, or rather, I wouldn't go all the way inside. I would just kind of stay on the outside where the posters were and the books and just kind of look at them. Excuse me. And when I would realize, sorry, and when I would realize that it's just basically what they had around the museum, that it's not something that I really wanted to take home with me because I really didn't have space or money for that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll just have to go take a trip to the Met to go see it. I actually have been to the MoMA. One of my patients at a clinic where I used to work, he had free tickets for the summer. So me and my friend, we were able to go before the summer was out for free. I did get kind of sick that day because I ended up waiting too long to eat, and I ended up with a migraine, which means that I was having Thai for the first time and I didn't even get to eat it. It had to go home with me. I gave it to my dad and I went to sleep until the next day. And I would just like to say that I probably arrived at home at like 5 o'clock. But migraines are really bad. So when I get a migraine, I just go straight to sleep. I don't even bother trying to do anything. They're very crippling. So, you feel sick, you can't do anything. But anyway, here we are at the end. Here are the screenshots. I really thank you so much if you have stuck with me these 28 plus minutes. And I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope you put it in your world and you use it. I hope your Sims have a good time visiting. See, there they are, viewing the items that are in the thing. This is the office here, which I thought we were going to build it. I guess I didn't show it. I wasn't paying attention. I'm not going to lie. I was talking about migraines. But anyway, here on the second floor, little seating area. That's the hallway where the staircase is. This is the entrance to the lounge. I mean, not the lounge, that section there. And here we are at the end. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.
I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe.